Well, hey, we got some guests joining us in the studio all the way from California. We have some of the Beverly Hillbillies with us this morning. So I'm going to allow you guys to introduce yourselves before we start talking. So tell us who you are and welcome to Southern Ohio from Southern California.
Well, we calls it California.
California. I'm sorry. So
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. Okay. And your name, sir?
My name is Jed Clampett.
Okay. So we have Jed Clampett with us. Who else do we have?
Well, my name's Jethro. Where I gotta put myself so the picture comes through all right?
This is radio. The picture comes later on the television side, which will come. But just look straight ahead. That's all you need to do. You'll be all right. So.
All right. I gotta make sure it gets my good side.
Okay, that sounds good. And who else do we have? I believe we have a family member. Ellie Mae is not with us this morning, but we have another family member that maybe you're not as familiar with. What's your name, young lady?
My name is Cousin Pearl. I was the smartest of the Clampetts because I can read and write, but not one of the biggest fans. I didn't get to go to California.
No, you had to stay back behind. You're kind of the one that encouraged them to go to California.
I did because they got movie stars and they got millionaires.
And Jen, I believe you are a new millionaire, a new type of money that you thought you were receiving there. Is that the way that worked out for you?
Well, Mr. Brewster said that I was going to be a rich man. He was going to pay me in some new kind of dollars. And I had heard of gold dollars and silver dollars and paper dollars. He said he was going to pay me in something called $1 million.
I don't think you'll be disappointed. I don't. I think that was quite a shock for you, wasn't it, Pearl? Almost.
It was a shock. I'd never fainted before, but I fainted.
So, all right. Well, I'm going to ask those guys to go ahead and now they can break character and talk with us a little bit more. So, joining us from the Chillicothe Civic Theater, some of the cast of the Beverly Hillbillies. I'm actually a part of that cast as well. I play Mr. Brewster, the oil executive that comes and joins them. But we've been celebrating community theater in the area all week. Again, don't forget we have Apple City Players production of Agatha Christie's The Mousetrap coming up at the Marquette Cultural Arts Center tonight and tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. But once that's over, said and done with, you're like, man, I really want to see some theater stuff. And I know that there's school productions coming up, and we'll keep you informed on all that. But coming up the second and third weekend of March is Chillicothe Civic Theater's production of the Beverly Hillbillies. Now, I'm going to ask our director, Allison Arnold, to step up. And Allison, this is a new adventure for Chillicothe Civic Theater. Tell us what's coming up with this one.
It is, Matt. So we got our new building probably 5-6 years ago there on Walnut Street, 83 South Walnut, just a block past the post office. And one of our goals has always been to offer dinner theater, but we've never been able to put feet on that. This will be our first dinner theater there. We'll be offering a chicken noodle dinner with mashed potatoes and green beans, cobbler and a salad with your show for $30, which is a phenomenal deal.
That's
you can hardly eat for $30 anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
So you get dinner and a show. You will be served by some charitable organization. It depends what night you come. They'll be there working for tips, so we'll be able to give back to the community as well. It's going to be really exciting. So this is an immersive dinner theater. The characters will be around you. The characters will talk to you. They'll interact with you. And you get to be part of the show, too, so it's really exciting.
Yeah, so that's one of the coolest parts about this production is that although it's a traditional stage play, we have chosen to break the four walls.
Yes.
And so it will be literally, the area where the tables are set up, which is where normally the chairs are for the theater and where you'll be sitting. That's actually going to be kind of like the garden area of the mansion. And so I don't know that we'll completely convince you that you're in Beverly Hills, but we're going to try.
We're going to try. So there'll be a little bit of Possum Ridge mixed with Beverly Hills, so it'll be a good time. You'll be sitting either in the junkyard of the cabin or Beverly Hills, depending on which table you're sitting at.
Absolutely, so. And just so people know as well, a lot of people are familiar with the Beverly Hillbillies. This is kind of this is an actual stage play that's kind of a combination of the show as we remember it, and also some additional things so they've changed some things up and that type of stuff. There's some additional characters that maybe you've never heard of. And
they actually mashed several episodes together and made it into a show.
I think, Tom, you were Tom Parent, who plays Jed. Tom, you were the one that kind of pointed out to us a lot of the story comes from like seasons 4 and 5 of the Beverly Hillbillies, I think. So
some of the subplots and the overall conflict of the show comes from the later seasons that were in color. There's an episode called The Badger, and The Badger Returns. without giving too much away. Those are kind of where the villains of the show come from, if you will, and it's a lot of it is lifted directly from the show. A lot of dialogue comes through line by line, and it's fun and funny.
It really is, yeah, and it really and the woman that's playing our granny, I think she's pulling it off. So, and if you've never been a part of a production, especially something like this, it takes a lot to put together. And we've been working now for about 6 weeks altogether, and we'll have a couple months in to almost 3 months when it's all said and done with. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's talk about how you can get tickets for the show.
So you can go to our website, cctchillicothe.org, click the tickets tab. Under the tickets tab, you will see both Beverly Hillbillies and some of our upcoming productions. I do want to make sure we mention Grease is coming up for our teenagers.
Yes.
We still have open slots for auditions, 14 to 25-year-olds. Come out, work with Amanda Harper. She's amazing. And come join us, be a part of our family here at CCT. We've got, but you can get your tickets there online, or there is an email option if you prefer to pay at the door. So you can do either way you want to do there.
Awesome. And the tickets are $30, which includes the meal. And like you said, it's going to be a fully home-cooked, essentially home-cooked meal. I mean, chaperone, or not, let's not cater. I said chaperone catered, but, and chaperoned, I suppose, although I don't know that we're all the best chaperones for the night because we'll be part of the hijinks, but it'll be a lot of fun for that as well. So $30 which includes your meal and the performance. Total of 9 performances. Let's see.
8. We have 8 shows.
Eight shows total. So it kicks off actually 2 weeks from last night. Is our opening night, and the evening shows on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are 7 p.m. and then Sunday at 2 o'clock for the second and third weekend. So it's I got the poster over there, the 9th through the 11th, and the 16th through the 18th. So
and then the 12th and the 19th are
12th and 19th are the Sunday performances. So you won't want to miss out on that. And tickets are going fast. We've already sold 200 tickets for the show.
Yeah, so our tickets have only been on sale for a week, a little over a week, and we've sold we're over 200 now, and that's just amazing. Like, these guys have done a phenomenal job promoting the show, and you don't want to miss it.
And I want to go ahead and spend a little bit of time talking a little bit. I'm a theater nut like most people, like a lot of people, and I've been talking a lot about this here on the show. But I want to go ahead and highlight. We did this with Apple City Players too. We're lucky here in Southern Ohio that they've kind of brought back theater. School programs, a lot of schools have theater programs now. And we're very fortunate. I didn't grow up with that, so I didn't get involved until college. But one of the cool things about groups like Apple City Players here in Jackson and Chillicothe Civic Theater is there's not a huge fee to be a part of it, and there's something for everyone. I know Apple City Players just started up their children's theater this past year. Chillicothe Civic Theater, this is like how many years, Bobby? Do you know off the top of your head? 60-some, I think over.
We are in year 52,
52, okay. I knew it was over 50. That Chillicothe Civic Theater had been around in some variety, shape, or form. But now it is really expanded, and there is literally something for everyone.
Yeah, and in fact, for Beverly Hillbillies, one of the things I wanted to do was we as adults who do tech, because I'm a technical theater person myself, we come in and we do technical theater for the kids. So what we've done is we put out the invite to teenagers, anyone over 14 who wants to learn technical theater. They start coming in next week, and these are the kids most of them are kids that are at schools in Ross County that do not have a theater program. And they're going to have a chance to come in and work with Jared Dudley, who's fantastic, and learn lights, sound, stage managing, all those things. Makeup, we have a makeup opportunity as well. So that's really amazing that now the adults we're turning around and pulling the kids in to be part of our shows. So that's really exciting for us.
And then on the performance side, there's the children's theater. Actually, it was just the adolescent theater originally, or children's theater, but it got so big that it kind of now has split into both a children's theater that oftentimes will do the junior productions, like they just finished Aladdin Junior, and then they have I think they're now calling it, is it Youth Theater?
Or the Edge.
Which is, like you said, 14 to 25, so that high school, college age, and they're getting ready to do Grease the Musical, and those auditions are the first week of March, I think. Is that if I'm...
Yeah, I think it's the 4th and the 5th. If you check out our Facebook page, the information's on there.
Yep, and that's going to be a great production. They did Heather's the Musical last year. They always do at least one musical and Carrie the Musical the year. So it's always something a little bit edgier that maybe adults don't necessarily want to perform or couldn't pull off on their own. And then, of course, the adult productions, there's always at least 3 to 4 productions a year. With Beverly Hillbillies, this is the first production for the adults this year, and then they're doing Cinderella the Musical this summer. Those auditions will be coming up in March as well.
They are actually the
13th?
first weekend of.
Or first weekend?
It's also on the Facebook
It's on
page.
the,
I don't want to say wrong.
yeah, we don't want to get the wrong dates, but that's coming up. And then Arsenic and Old Lace in the fall, another stage play. And then in December at the Majestic Theater, there's always, we call it the Christmas production, but this year will be The Sound of Music. And so there's always something to be involved with. So if you have interest in theater, whether it's from a technical side or a performance side, get involved with one of the local theater organizations, whether it's Apple City Players here in Jackson or Chillicothe Civic Theater, or being both like I am.
Well, and we also have over the summer for our
Yes.
kiddos the kindergarten to 8th grade. They will be doing Aristocrats.
Oh yes, I forgot about that one. Yeah,
Sorry.
Aristocats. Yeah,
Yes.
I forgot about that. So real quickly, let's go ahead and talk. We got a couple more minutes. You guys are actually going to be joining us on Main Street TV as well with Jennifer and the crew. What inspired you all to get involved with performing and being involved in the arts?
Well, I mean, I've been doing, little bits of acting here and there since I was a little kid. I remember first thing was in elementary school, there was a program called Missoula that did children's theater. And I did that every year. And the only real role I got in that was King Arthur, which, to be fair, is pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But as of recently, getting back into it, I was in the theater program at OUC until it got axed as soon as COVID became a problem.
Right,
they just axed it completely. But one of my friends that was in the theater program messaged me one day and was like, hey, we're having issues getting auditions for our production of Mousetrap. Would you like to go in? I was like, sure. And so I did, and I ended up getting the role of Sergeant Trotter. And ever since then, I've been getting more and more involved with the theater.
Yeah, once the bug bites you, you don't want to back down. I had to actually I promised my wife I would take some time off. This is my first production back for a year because I was in 3 back to back to back, and it can take a lot out of you. It takes a lot of time. So Tom, how about you?
My son Jonathan was in Frozen Junior as part of CCT's Children's Wing, and that kind of got me sucked in. We moved to Chillicothe in 2019, right before the new building opened, and it's just kind of snowballed since then, no pun intended. I was with you, Matt,
Yep,
in Shrek
Yep.
the musical. We played 2 of the 3 little pigs.
Yep.
And then I was Georgia Banks in Mary Poppins this past summer. And this is my first straight stage play without the musical aspect. So that's been a little bit different, but glad to be involved and look forward to some of the upcoming productions also.
Absolutely. Bobby?
Actually, in 2015, I went to see the fall show and was mistaken by the director as somebody there to sell cookies. And she was like, so you're here to sell cookies? And I'm like, okay. And I've been there ever since.
It's awesome.
So, yeah, I'm usually the backstage type.
Right.
I did do a small part as one of the grannies in Willy Wonka.
Okay.
So this is my second on stage.
Awesome. Allison?
That's actually how I met Bobby,
Yeah,
oddly
yeah,
enough. So I did theater through high school and college.
Right, yeah.
Took a long break. Had my son Mark. He was 4 or 5, kindergarten age. Auditioned for Hoka Polka with CCT, which was like a fairy tale mashup kind of show. And he looked at me and he said, if I audition for this show, you got to go audition for Dial M for Murder, which is when she got mistaken for a cookie salesperson. And I went and auditioned. I am not a performer, but they found out that I had stage management experience. And the rest is history. Marky's 31, well, he's casting his 32nd show, but 31 shows in and's been dragging Mom along.
By the way,
ever
I feel like we
since.
should taunt him since he's at school today and really wanted to come
Marky,
today.
are you having fun at school?
Marky!
John, too. Are you having fun at school, John?
Yeah. So.
John's my student director.
Yeah, John is a student director.
I
John's
love that
parent,
kid
Tom's
so much.
son.
He's like my own. But
Yep.
been there ever since. Love it.
Awesome. And it really is a family. And like I said, that's one of the reasons I encourage people to get involved. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a part of it and I'm a little biased, but okay, I am biased. It's just, it's something that if you're sitting at home going, man, I've always wanted to give this a try, but I could never perform, or I could never do this. You're never going to know. I mean, I said on the back scene, I was like, I'd love to try out for this, but I'll never make a part. I'll do da. And so I didn't do it until Shrek.
Well,
and
I
when
feel
Shrek
like
came
it's
along,
important to note, too, that we at Chillicothe Civic Theater, and I'm sure at Apple City Players,
Yeah.
have people that have been involved in theater for decades.
Yes.
And don't have a problem sharing their talent with you and
yes.
teaching you, growing you, so that maybe you came in and you're playing a very, very small role this time, but next time you have the confidence and the encouragement from the people around you to pull off a lead.
Yeah, well, and we've joked about it in practice a little bit, but our current Miss Hathaway is
Yeah.
phenomenal when it comes to
So-
memorizing lines and that
Yes.
type of stuff.
Well, Anne
which I
has
struggle
played
with.
in our pit for years.
Yeah.
So Anne has probably played in at least half a dozen shows in the pit. She's a phenomenally talented fiddle player. Go see her at Piketon High School next weekend. They're doing Descendants.
That's right, yeah, Descendants is
She'll
coming
be
next year, so-
rocking the fiddle in the pit there. And now she's on stage, and she's just as phenomenal on stage as she is in the pit. So we've got multi-talented people that can help you learn your lines
Yep.
and help you just pull off a phenomenal performance.
Yeah, don't be scared to give it a try. And also, I want to throw in one more theater opportunity that I don't want to forget about coming up this weekend. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland at Vinton County Middle School. Their middle school program is doing that this weekend. So more information about that if you want to contact the school. So I'm going to say ta-ta to these guys for a little bit. They're going to be on Main Street TV in just a little while. If you want to follow that, make sure you follow it on our Facebook pages, and it'll be on the podcast channels later on as well. Don't miss it. The Beverly Hillbillies coming up the 9th through the 12th of March and the 16th through the 19th of March. Performances Thursday through Saturday in the evenings at 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoons. It's a lot of fun. You'll laugh, you'll have fun, and you get your bellies full, plain and simple. So the cast of the Beverly Hillbillies and the director joining us in the studio, guys.
Come and set a spell.
There you go. Thanks for coming in, guys, this morning. Appreciate it. Lots more coming up on Mix 96 FM. 8:39, your official time, 38 degrees in the Jackson radio right now. It's